flute now, so I guess I attempt to play it.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you use your proficiency bonus on that. It's close enough.
Nice.
I put a picture of what
Yeah,
an ocarina looks like.
that's exactly what it looks like too. That's perfect.
Oh, okay, cool. That is a nifty looking instrument. It is kind of like a recorder. It would take me a minute, but I'd actually be able to play like some very simple songs on that.
Yeah, you could definitely do like Hot Cross Buns or something.
Alright, yeah, so roll me a performance check if you're gonna try and play this thing.
Maggie's encouraging how to use it. Take a D4 to...
Performance, you said?
Yep.
And I'm sorry, did you say, what did you say, Maggie?
D4 guidance too. Maggie's encouraging the heck out of you.
Okay, cool. One moment. Okay, so that would be a 15.
Okay, so yeah, you're absolutely able to play some sort of a like a tune that's like a, you know, like a something along the lines of like a lullaby or something like that, like a tune that you would know from your childhood.
It's a melancholy lullaby coming from me.
Probably around sunset, so that it's like all epic. You know, you guys are like around a campfire and you break this thing out. It's because we're kind of fudging time here. It's just all things that have happened over this couple of days here where you've been exploring this island, been on it.
I explained to everybody that in my meditations I found the inspiration for a song and have been able to learn how to inspire others through my song and can give inspiration in the form of a 1d6 for 10 minutes while we're in battle.
Excellent.
Nice.
And
that can be used for
as a bonus action. That's always fun too.
Yep.
It's nice to have a bonus action a lot of times.
And because I have not given you guys, any of you guys, one in a really long time, each of you is going to have one active inspiration die. So I will give you, like, it's just marked off, like, I don't know, check it on your D&D Beyond sheet or whatever, but you guys each can use an inspiration, or you can give it to someone else on a roll if you want to. So that gives you advantage on that roll.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
And that goes forward until you use it. It stays with the kit. It's not just for this session, so make sure you mark it down.
Yeah, there's a little spot for it on D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. I also grabbed Featherfall so that if we're falling, I can save 5. I can choose up to 5 falling creatures within range to slow descent.
Nice.
Okay. And I got a couple other things too.
All right. So
I got a little servant guy.
Maybe we could try building a raft of some sort. I have an axe. I have rope.
I can. All right. Yeah.
Does it? I mean, I have some extra clothing.
Yeah, and you guys can actually see that in the area where you are, because the Moonsea is surrounded on many sides and areas by forest, there is plenty of driftwood that you can see within, like, the range of the horizon. It might take several hours to walk out to it and get it, but there are, like, there's, like, full floating trees at times that pass through the area. Like, when you look out, you can see things floating out in the water. So it's possible that you could find enough wood over the course of about a day or so. That could be part of this time that you guys are spending on the island, sort of this extended downtime.
Yeah, I would say we're definitely gathering wood then.
Yeah. And if there's any, I can also, along with rope, I offer to use any vines that we find that are available to grow to help lash things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's true. You can control plants and stuff, can't you?
Yep.
Yes, I can.
You could do like a Swiss Family Robinson kind of like treehouse.
Oh, that's awesome right there. Like, yeah, you guys land on the island and like, oh no, we need shelter. Hang on. And just this massive, like, you turn the coconut tree into like this crazy ass, like, extended tree house. Like, I mean, it takes
Yeah,
Actually,
so by
again,
all
it would
rights,
probably take you a day to do it, but like you could do it.
I mean, if there is a coconut tree, we weren't lacking for food.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Although you're probably getting quite sick of coconuts.
Indeed.
They only have so many coconuts on
Yeah,
them.
and plus when you grow them, they grow and you can make them grow, but you can't make them ripen necessarily, so they're just green coconuts. And if you've ever
Oh,
had green coconut milk, it's not a pleasant experience. It's
I mean, coconut milk isn't
well,
very good either.
Oh, I
Even
love
when
coconut
it's
milk.
ripe.
I like ripe
oh,
coconut
I
milk.
do
I can
too.
actually drink it right out of a coconut with no
Ugh.
problem. It's weird. I don't know why, but yeah.
That's not weird. That's actually delicious.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
I love sweetened coconut, but like raw coconut, like out of a
Yeah,
actual
see,
coconut.
actual raw coconut meat is a bit much for me. It's like whoa, it almost feels like you're chewing on fat. It's weird, like hard fat. But
Fibrous.
yeah, very, very much so. Now I want a coconut. Damn it. Like I genuinely am hungry for a fresh coconut now. But after we'll say that you guys total time spend 4 days on the island, so you're able to collect this wood. You're able to build a raft. You're even able to maybe have enough kind of plant material to fashion some sort of like a sail, so you can kind of catch the wind and direct yourselves a little bit. So, what time of day would you guys like to set off, and in what direction? You got north, south, east, and west, and you're going to hit land no matter which way you go, as long as you make it.
Let's say dawn to the south.
Yeah, that's what the bird said.
Okay.
I'll go with it. I hop on my broom and keep pace with everyone.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for like a dolphin or a shark or anything that I could maybe cast speak with animals with.
Okay. Let's see. So you probably got a 50-50 chance of finding some sort of marine life. Yeah, so you do encounter not a shark, but a large, like, fish creature. Something akin to, like a whale shark sort of thing. Except for this one's got large teeth. Like, it looks like it is fairly, like, it's larger than your raft. But it's just swimming alongside, like you just happen to kind of find it. And this is maybe, like, several hours into your journey at this point. Maybe 6 hours, we'll say.
Okay, I'm gonna cast speak with animals on them.
All right. What would you like to say to this fish?
Hello.
You see it kind of tip its head sideways, and like you can kind of see its eye is pointed at you, and it doesn't say anything for a minute.
I see what kind of food I have. If I have any kind of like fish, or if I still have any. I mean, I had a ton of rations, so I don't know.
Yeah, you find in the bottom of your bag a few scraps of your alligator jerky that are left.
Yeah, I thought it's like, you want some? Are you guys hungry? You want some food?
Always hungry. Eat to
All right.
live.
It's like, hey, I heard there's a big city to the south here. If you help get us there, I will buy you the whatever kind of food you want.
What is buy?
Oh, I'll acquire. I'll get whatever kind of food you want. Do you have a favorite kind of food?
I eat what I catch.
Well, it's kind of like that, but it'd be from me and all at once. If you, maybe grab this rope with your teeth and drag us south as far as you can toward land.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check with disadvantage because this fish is a fish.
So good in guns, though.
Okay. So with disadvantage is a 16.
Okay. You are kind of like trying to get the fish to take the rope. And you throw the rope in, and as soon as you do, the fish hits it like a fly from a fly fisher. Like when a fly fisherman is like whipping the rope back and forth, and as soon as it touches, this fish just nails this rope. It's just an instinctual reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it begins swimming not south but east, and it's just dragging this boat. At times, it's actually pulling the front of the raft down underwater, and like water's sloshing up over you guys, like because it's trying to go with whatever it just put in its mouth. It's like that's its instinct is to just snap something and take off.
Can I
It's like a
cast
big
Speak with Animals and then try to persuade them to go south?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I need to do it at a disadvantage or well, or?
Yeah, this fish is almost like borderline non-communicative. He's like a pretty primal creature.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to persuade him that a lot of food is in the direction of south.
Okay.
So that would be. Am I rolling at a disadvantage?
Yeah, at a disadvantage.
Okay.
23.
So that would be a
man.
23.
Jesus. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Against all odds, this fish decides that okay, yeah, like this lady is telling me that there's food that way. I guess I'll go that way. And because fish don't spit things out, it just holds the rope in its mouth, just sort of on a. It's almost pure chance that this actually is working. Like I think all three of you would be like, "Holy shit, it actually worked!" Like,
Yeah,
I look very smug about it.
yeah.
Maggie's like, anything can work through my lady Hestia.
Like Tohan's
My
not
persuasion.
not smart enough to understand why this wouldn't work. Yeah, that's perfect.
Becoming a bard helped my persuasion immensely.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. Let me see. To the south.
I got a +8 on that now.
I believe that's Hillsfar. Alright, so to the south, you can see you're going south, but you're sort of bearing a little bit more to the west than you are the east. And if you request that the fish go to the east, he will pretty much flat out refuse and tell you, no, big fish live near Dragon Reach.
All right, good to know.
Okay, now I gotta
I
scroll.
mean, as long as he's pulling us in a direction, I'm just kind of.
Yeah, he's pulling you south-ish towards the shore for sure. Let me scroll about 200 pages down this PDF file. There we go. Okay. So as you kind of start to get away from your island that you have been on, you can see kind of off to the east and west there are other little small islands, some of them a little larger than the one you were on, some of them smaller, but not very many of them look like they have much to show. You do see that one of these islands pokes up a considerable amount into almost a mountain peak, and that smoke is rising from the top of it as though it might be a volcano. Just fun factoids. You continue on for, because this fish is pulling you at a fairly good rate, you continue heading south for about 12 hours, just non-stop. Sometimes the fish sort of slows down and you'll see it actually, like it's actually snapping at other things in the water still, but then through gentle, kind of include in your persuasion roll, reminding him like more food is to the south, easy food is to the south, you get him headed closer and closer to your destination. And finally,
and this time Maggie's giving them what's it called, inspiring leader thing again, so everyone's got the 13 hit points.
Okay.
10 hit points.
I mean, we could obviously we'd say we took a long rest in those 4 days too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you guys should be fully rested, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to make sure after the long rest that everyone's got the 10 hit points.
Um, Let's go back to our face chat again. So you continue heading south, like I said, for about 12 hours total. Sometimes large waves will come through and soak all of your belongings, and kind of push you guys around the boat. And at one point, the raft itself actually almost threatens to capsize. But you are able to sort of maneuver it and reweigh it, like redistribute your weight on the thing to keep it sort of flat on these choppy waters as the wind picks up. And as it approaches dusk, actually, I'm sorry, if you left, yeah. As it approaches dawn of the next day after you left in the morning, 18, about 18 hours after you leave, you finally come to see something that looks like that. Off in the distance, you can see what appears to be several lighthouses surrounding a large collection of rocks. And as you draw closer, you begin to see that these rocks actually seem to have buildings scattered throughout them, as though there is some sort of a township or dwelling actually on the rocks out here. As your fish friend pulls you closer in to these rocks, he says, "Where is food? You promised
We have to go
food.
get it for you.
Where get food?
On top of those rocks.
Can't go to rocks.
We will bring you food. You
Fish-
stay here. You stay here, and I will. I can stay here with you, and my friends will go get food.
Okay, you give food now." All right, so you guys are on this raft. The fish refuses to go any closer to the rocks, essentially, because the currents are so strong near the rocks that he's basically doesn't want to get smashed up against these rocks.
I can go I can go fly in on my broom and or actually, I can try to pull us with my broom the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's true. You guys totally probably could have been doing that the whole time.
Yeah, but we saved a lot of trouble by having the fish do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably move faster.
Yeah.
Probably did move faster than just towing it on the broom. Okay, yeah, you're able to fly overhead, and as you do, you notice something very odd. This town appears to be completely abandoned. There is a fort kind of on one large set of rocks here. There is what appears to be some sort of like market stalls and things set up. But as you make a pass over, you notice it is essentially just an empty set of rocks. There are a few like houses and things tucked in among the cliffs. What look to be sort of like cave dwellings modified to have like house facades on the front of them. And you're not sure if anyone would be in those, but it does not appear there is no people moving about the streets. There is no animals other than the birds and a few maybe like random lizards that are like perched on rocks.
Does there appear to be anybody at the stalls or no?
Nope. No human contact whatsoever as you fly over. You don't hear any like noises or anything coming from down. How high over it are you flying, by the way?
I would say 10. Well, we'll say like 10 feet over the highest like point, as
Okay.
far as like rocks and such that I would have to go over.
Okay. So yeah, you're up high enough. You're probably 50 feet above the lowest point in town, at least. They're large rocks, but they're like big boulders, basically. They're not like mountains or anything. So what would you like to do after you see that this town is empty?
Well, I return back to the raft and let everybody know what I found and ask what everybody wants to do.
Oh, and in case I didn't mention this, I'm sorry, as you flew over, I know I didn't mention this. You also see that this town seems to be connected by a land bridge of some sort to kind of a forested beach off on the south shore. Actually, I'm going to turn it around so the south is on the bottom. There.
All right. As I'm flying back to the raft, I ask Reggie if he knows anything about this area and why it might be deserted in this time period.
He says, "Oh, you see, often these settlements would pop up, trading villages and the like, and oftentimes pirates would raid. Sometimes creatures out of the forest or out of the mountains would attack these villages, and oftentimes just simply the trade itself would change. Something would happen where market demand that maybe before would cause a town to be a boom town would become just abandoned almost overnight. Like within a period of weeks, everyone would move out and move on to the next boom town. So like
All right.
think like Wild West, basically, like
Gotcha.
the way that a lot of
Is-
that worked.
Well, just to be safe, I'll just while I'm flying there and talking with Reggie, I want to do an Arcana check and see if there's anything there that we should be concerned about.
Okay.
All right, so that would be a 23.
23. All right. Between you and Reggie, you discern that there appears to be no discernible magic. Nothing puts off like any sort of a strong magic current. No threads of the weave being tugged. And it just seems to be essentially, as far as you can tell, a abandoned village. Like Reggie said, it seems like people picked up all their shit and kind of left all the heavy stuff and just kind of vanished.
Well, I go back to the raft and tell everybody what I find and suggest maybe our next step would be to see if there's anything of worth to grab on the island and perhaps try to find something to repay this fish with.
All right. Assuming that you are not still speaking with animals, correct? Fish says, "Where is food?" when he sees you come back.
Maggie, it might be a good idea to make us walk on water.
That's Ariane.
That's me. And
Do I have that spell now?
I thought you said you were going to cast the water walk.
No, that would be Ariane.
that would be me.
Oh.
And the fish says
He-
again, "Where is food? Where is food? Where is food?" It's just repeating
How long
himself.
does hold on, let me how long I just got that spell speaking with animals. I'm not sure how long it lasts.
I mean, you could have done a flyby and probably gotten back within a few minutes, where it would still be active if you want it to be.
Yeah, I explained to the fish that food is coming yeah, it's 10 minutes. Food is coming. We just need to gather it for you.
Maggie asked Ariane to ask the fish if there's a like a bigger settlement that is inhabited nearby.
I asked the fish if he knows of any large folk that look like us nearby.
No more answer questions. Want food. Want food now. And when the fish says this, he starts thrashing wildly. And he actually begins to dive straight down. And
I can't. All right, I cast walk on water.
Okay. Just as you cast the spell on Tohan and Maggie, the raft itself just begins kind of, the fish's violent thrashing and the rope attached to it are actually like pulling the raft right apart, so like it's actually breaking apart under their feet. So walking on water, on choppy, kind of oceanic lake water or whatever, in high winds like this, near a whole lot of rocks, could potentially be considered a sort of dangerous activity. So I'm going to need you guys all to make a dexterity save to make sure that you can kind of maintain your footing.
I'm still on my broom.
You're on your broom, so the other two of you.
8.
He's still defaulting to giving herself guidance, so 7 altogether.
Okay, so both of you, although you are able to stay on top of the water, the waves themselves are pushing you about. Like, as you're lifting, like, you're sliding down the wave, and the wave is behind you, just sort of cascading you along.
I come down to their level and yell for them to grab onto my broom to keep their to be able to keep above and balanced.
Okay. So you get down there. Just make me what sort of check do I want to make you guys make to see if you can grab this broom? I will say either an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice, from each of you. DC on it is going to be like 10, we'll say, because...
Oh, well, I rolled a 23. I was going to say I have a plus 10 to athletics, so...
I rolled an 8, and I don't think Maggie had enough time to cast guidance on herself again, so I think that's
Can
great.
I say I gave Maggie inspiration?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah,
you roll.
You can roll a 1d6.
Okay.
Oh, of Bardic Inspiration. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Nope, that's a 1, so 9 altogether. Maggie's not the most dexterous.
All right. So, Tohan, you're fairly easily able to grab a hold of the broom and kind of keep yourself aloft on these waves. Like, as the waves are coming up, you just sort of, like, run up them and then run back down on the backside of them. Maggie, you are unable to do so. You go sliding along about 20 feet in just a few seconds, and you crash off from the rocks on one side of the nearest rocks here. We'll say you guys are like up here, on the very northern tip of this. You guys see that on there? Yeah. So go ahead and roll me 3d6 damage for yourself.
3d6, you said?
Yep. It's actually faster if you do it for yourself. So you take 9 bludgeoning damage from the rocks as you hit. And go ahead and make me a strength saving throw to see if you can kind of hold on to the rocks.
Can I try to catch up with her and grab the rocks in her to help, or?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can kind of...
Yeah, I try to move. I move with Tohan with the broom to try to help as well.
Okay.
I got 16.
Okay, so yeah, you're fairly easily able to get yourself up on the rocks once you smash into them. And you guys can kind of, with the assistance of the broom lifting up, climb up over these boulders. You're sort of like doing the old Batman and Robin walking up the side of the wall thing with the broom, like just holding onto the broom, like stepping yourselves up, all three of you. And you get up over the top, and yeah, as you crest the top of this rock mound, you can see that this area is, in fact, just an empty, kind of vacant stone area that looks like it's clearly been, worked over by humans in some way. Like, there's bridges, there's infrastructure, but there aren't any, noticeable buildings. You think maybe you see a few, tent spikes, and it looks like maybe this was, some sort of, a tent town that could have been here. You see clear-cut pathways leading where there would have been stuff set up. And it looks like it couldn't have been abandoned too long ago, as there are still some semblance, you can actually see across the rocks and see down into this part now, where you can see there are still, large kind of semi-permanent structures, like tents and things in this section. And again, you can see the castle off in the distance. Be something of that for a viewpoint, I think. Something like
Guys,
that.
if that castle's empty, I call dibs.
Reggie says, well, yes, actually, as some sort of a base of operations, if you're going to be stuck here in the past for any amount of time, some sort of a area for a base camp might be quite effective, sir.
He says, it sounds like a good place to take shelter, but we can't afford to be stuck here long. The world needs us.
I mean, that's a long time from now, I think. I'm not sure.
That's a good point.
I do a quick fly over to check out the easiest way to get there.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you can kind of make your way down through these paths. There's a few like stone bridges. Let's see. But yeah, it's easily accessible for the three of you. So are you guys heading towards the castle then?
Yeah, and I'm
Making
keeping
Yeah.
my eye out for like a barrel of like kelp or anything like that where I can dump into the sea for the big fish.
Yeah, as you look back behind you, the fish is actually like chomping down on the boards of your raft, giving you the impression that at any time, if he had decided that he didn't like you, he probably could have made your day really awkward in the middle of the sea.
Mhm.
And you can still hear him for the last few seconds as you look back before your speak with animals fades, and he's going, "Want food! Want food! Want food!"
I named him Freddy, guys. He wants food.
If we come across food, I will happily bring it back and drop it on to him.
Maggie can use her Toll the Dead spell to go fishing. Just point at fish, and assuming that way of wisdom.
Does that work if they're not injured? Untold the Dead? I don't know.
Yeah, it does more damage if they're.
That's a good point.
So, I guess if Maggie sees any fish, maybe she'll kill them off and ask Arianth to bring them out. If there's one thing she feels bad about, it's promising food and not delivering.
All right. You guys kind of take a few. We'll say it takes about 5 or 6 hours to kind of walk around this whole place and try and figure out how to get from point to point. But by the time that you've reached this castle over here, we'll say it's like 4 hours until you reach the castle itself. Accessible by this kind of rickety wooden rope bridge here.
I fly along with everybody, with allowing them to keep a hand on my broom.
Do the broom thing again to make sure, yeah. And you can hear the boards creak and groan, but nothing gives way as you're kind of holding on to, like you're keeping their weight up on it. And you pass into the castle. Damn it! You pass into the castle grounds, and you see there are a couple of buildings right out in front, a large kind of squarish tower, and what appears to be some sort of like what probably was a general goods store. It just looks like a general kind of like market shop, and there are several barrels out in front. One of them contains salt. Oh, God, Dave, you're here twice.
That was weird.
Time travel does cause anomalies. Oh, God. It's future Dave.
That was like, whoa.
Yeah, I want to go to the general goods store and, like, if the door's closed, just, like, knock and listen.
Okay. You knock and you don't hear anything.
All right, go on in.
All right, yeah, the door.
Yeah, I go in as well and start. I go in as well and start looking around for anything of value.
All right, so yeah, this place seems to be kind of sparsely stocked, to say the least. It looks like people probably moved most of the store's goods out at some point before they left, but there are still like several coils of rope sitting in a corner. You see a stack of like torches, like general kind of things that you would find, let's say, in the player's handbook on the equipment list, in like the general goods section. But there's maybe like one or two of each item kind of kicking around. It's a fairly wide range of objects. There's a little bit more lantern oil. But it appears to kind of be like the display items that are like samples and stuff. Like some of them have been used part way. When you go into the back, however, you discover there is a large barrel of what appears to be some sort of like salted pork, but it's completely rancid.
Oh.
I think fish would love that again. Yeah, I replaced the rope that the fish took when he sank our boat there, and I take the lantern oil at least, and then I don't think I'm probably good on mundane, like general good stuff. I don't know if anyone else needs stuff, but
Uh, are there any like food? The rancid pork is the only food supplies, I assume, right?
Yeah, you didn't see anything else. There was a
All right, and the
barrel
rest
of
is
tallow for candle wax. You could probably eat that if you're really hungry, but it would be very tasty.
beef tallow.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Make
catch some fish,
biscuits.
cook them in beef tallow.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, cold winter day, but
Oh.
yeah, like I say, we fill up a couple buckets, and maybe Arianth can fly over some of this pork.
yeah.
Excellent.
I agree, and I tie a couple of buckets to my broom and quickly fly it out, keeping well above the fish, and dump it over and say, "Here you go. Sorry for the delay."
All right.
Well, I don't say anything because I'm not casting the spell again, but I dump it in near the.
All right. And as you do,
I dump it in and wave.
you can tell that the fish is now seems quite happy. He's scarfing all this pork that's floating everywhere, and you notice several smaller fish are now coming out, and even a couple of kind of large shark creatures start swimming about, and fairly soon there is a massive feeding frenzy in the water, and you're flying back, and as you do, you see something the size roughly of a blue whale come up and just slam the water. Like it's just eating this entire feeding frenzy and going back down into the water. And you think to yourself, I'm gonna need a bigger broom. Okay.
I don't see that, so I just assume Freddy is fine. So
I just go back and I say the job is done and leave it at that.
Hey, you guys made good on your end of the bargain. Sometimes you just gotta kill an NPC right out of the gate.
Well, maybe we can use a combination of salt pork and Toll the Dead and Arianth's broom to catch some fish off the coast here.
Oh, you could totally do
Cook them in
that.
the beef tallow.
oh yeah, I mean, like crabs especially love that stuff like that.
There we go.
Well, we'll save the rest of that rancid pork for if we need to go do some fishing.
So
I guess we'll check out the other two buildings, this lighthouse thing and then the castle itself.
all right. So the large tower that you're next to, kind of across from the general store, is zoom in on it a little bit. It appears to be some form of like a grain silo or something. It had what could have been maybe corn or like wheat or some sort of a crushed grain in it. It's got a large millstone at the bottom. And there's several birds just flapping about the inside of the top of the tower. Just feathers. As soon as you walk in the door, feathers are just falling down. They're rattling these cages. Yeah, there does not seem to be anything particularly noteworthy in here. Just grain dust and bird poop.
Wait, there's a bunch of birds in cages. You said. I'm sorry. I was kind of.
They're kind of rattling around. Like it looks like these are like
Oh, okay.
mourning doves or something that have like nested in the high reaches of this silo.
Gotcha. They're not like carrier pigeons or anything.
And Reggie says, "Well, this fits with what I was saying before. You see, often there was these pop-up settlements. They would have these grain silos like this, and it was for shipping grain across the sea effectively. And well, grain is being a bulk commodity. The more grain that a nation would have, the more powerful that they were considered to be, essentially, in these fly-by-night operations. So, it seems, yes, this is probably just an abandoned one of those towns. It's not uncommon for groups such as yourselves to make base camps in these. So, keep its location in mind, absolutely." He says, "It does appear that we are fairly close to the Hillsfar region. Hillsfar happens to be the enemies of the Zentarim. Might be of crucial use to you later on."
Who are the Zentarim again?
So the Zents are the group that they're essentially known to be like kind of like this black market trade organization that's really ruthless and cutthroat. You guys actually dealt with them a little bit in Waterdeep.
Oh yeah.
They were one of the two groups that were involved in the kidnapping of the Neverember, the his son, or the attempted kidnapping and accidental kidnapping of his friend. And they are like even 1,000 years in the past, the Zentarim were like a thing. They, however, were probably much less developed as a network of spies and things like that throughout the realms than more like a localized threat at this point.
So at this point, is it like evening or night at this point?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be night by now. Like, it's probably almost midnight.
I'd say, I mean, Maggie wants to kind of like just check the buildings out, find a place to long rest, and then discuss plans for the next day.
Well, this since it's dark, I'll just say that at some point I cast light so that we can see.
Yeah, Maggie will do the same.
All right, your light is clearly visible from probably the entire coastline. Like, this abandoned city is now. You are the one solitary like beacon of light as you are going through things.
All right, I tone it down so it's not so like
put a
so
lampshade over it. Yeah. So as you're exploring through the building, you notice that there seem to be two major areas to the castle. There is what appears to be the barracks and the gate. That is over here on the south side of things. This is next to what could only be a mid-sized temple. It seems to be a temple to it actually seems to be a temple to Bane. To the god Bane.
I keep forgetting who's who between Bane and Bale. Which is Tohan's guy?
That would be Bane.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I'm bald, but yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Maggie's definitely interested in checking that out cautiously.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you explore around. There's like idols that kind of are built in this the god of murder's effigy. There's like some really edgy goth art on the walls. You know, like it's all in red and black in there. It's super 90s. That's about it. It's there's nothing out of the ordinary in the temple. It seems that all the coffers have been emptied. There's no. It doesn't seem like it's been abandoned that long, much like the other buildings. But it gives you the idea that whatever group was here were probably worshippers of the god Bane.
If there's no food in any of these buildings, then yeah, Maggie's definitely going to do some hunting and, I don't know, catch birds or fish.
Okay. Yeah, the other building you guys explore is the actual, like I said, the barracks and stuff. It's a basic gatehouse. You can kind of go through it. There's a few rooms for like people who are off duty or whatever. The other area over here seems to be more of the actual like keep proper. As you explore that, we'll say that you guys could have done the hunting and fishing thing right after the fish feeding, given that there was such a bounty right there. As you get to the keep proper, and you go inside, it's pretty lavish in there. It's actually very nicely dressed. There's still like dressers and beds and things in rooms. It's comfortable. You know, it's almost like that part in Morrowind where you get your house and it's like, hey, I've got this house. That's really nice.
Nice.
Cool. Well, Maggie, make sure everybody eats well after scrounging.
Yeah. And you're able to actually find like some basic spices and things like that. Like just kind of like, you know, like one of those spice assortment things from like Pensie's. Like there's something like that in there. Like the kitchen is is still got its utensils. Seems to be the one part of the keep that was just like left. Like it just seems like everything was pretty much still here. Um, as you continue to go through rooms and things, you find like an area that's obviously some sort of a pantry that has like not much in it, but some stuff. It's got like some jars and maybe some canned goods, things like that. No crazy doomsday prepper level stuff, but like it's got a few things. Um,
I look around for any kind of like anything that could be used as like alchemy supplies or any extra clothes,
yeah,
things that'll be handy.
you actually find. Hide this for a second. Just give me just 1 second. You actually find in one of the towers a small library that has
Nice.
a lot of books in it.
I go through the books very excitedly, hoping to find anything that of interest historically or magically wise,
All right.
or musically for that matter, as I am an aspiring bard.
Sorry about that.
All good.
No worries.
All you missed was that Maggie made sure that you guys are fishing. You guys continue to explore the castle, and it seems like just a very nice furnished like house essentially. An area on
There's
top
no
of
like
that.
actual throne or anything.
There's a room that has something that would be considered probably like a meeting room or something where there's a couple of large chairs up at the front of this chamber. But it's not a huge chamber. It's maybe like 20 feet across. It's not like a huge like Dwarven hall or anything. It's just kind of like a room where maybe people would have seen whoever was in charge. Um, so Arianth, in the library, you don't find any alchemy books. You don't find any supplies of any sort like that. But what you do find is several books that have art in them. And these art like they're very reminiscent of what we would consider in our world to be like flash tattoo art. Basically, it's like one piece of art on a blank page, like centered, and then you flip the page and it's like another crazy piece of art on the next page. And you notice that the pages are perforated as though meant to be torn out of the book.
All right. I investigate the books a little more closely,
Okay. Go ahead and
but carefully.
roll me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Yeah. Right? Or is that? It's not 4E, is it? I think so.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay. So yeah. You are able to discern that these pages, you're pretty sure, are magical tattoos.
All right. I ask Reggie and do a Arcana check as to what they might be used for.
Okay. So.
And I got a 24 for my Arcana check.
Excellent. So the idea, he says, like to kind of meta talk through it. Essentially, they work similar to what a scroll would, except for these tattoos allow you to like think temporary tattoo. Like you take the page, tear it out, You would put it on whoever wants the tattoo, and they will essentially perform whatever the spell that is attached to that tattoo is. Unfortunately, there are no labels on these tattoos. They are only pictures.
Is there any way through like meditation or study I will be able to discern anything? Or if I
Um,
cast Identify?
Probably if you cast Identify, yes. If you want to do that, then we will
Yes,
say.
yes, I will.
Alright, so the.
Oh, wait. Do I still have? Where's my Identify? Oh, there it is. Okay, yes, I use my free Identify.
Okay. So you are able to see that these these tattoos seem to come in 11 varieties and 3 kind of levels of power. You can tell because they're like as you kind of identify it, we'll say that like identify works in like conjunction with this magic that's permeated throughout the realm. So it sort of comes across as like different colors on the color spectrum to you. So like you might see like red, blue, green, and like the first few pages are like smaller tattoos. So they're like a small size, and it's like low power, medium power, high power, and there are 11 varieties of that. And then the next one is like medium sized tattoos, and there's the same pattern of colors that indicate like low, medium, high power. But they're all like more like they're just larger in general. And then the last few pages, there's actually a fold out tattoo that looks like it would cover someone's entire back. Um, you recognize that the 11 types of tattoos are the absorbing tattoo, uh, that corresponds with a type of damage resistance. Essentially, like one of them would resist acid damage, one of them resists cold damage, one of them resists radiant. Barrier tattoos that grant the wearer an armor class that varies depending on the tattoo's rarity. Uh, so if it's if it's basically the rarity is directly related to the size of it because there's less of them in the book.
Holy crap.
So like the bigger the
Okay,
tattoo
so
you put on it.
all right, so I got 11 variety.
Yep.
So how many low do I have?
Let's see. So we'll say there are 11 varieties. There's a small one, a medium one, and a large one. For each of
Of
these
each variety.
varieties,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So
And then
so
I'll
each variety.
educate what each one does later on if you decide to use them or whatever. But just to go through them, here's what I'll do. I'll actually copy this and I will paste it right into the chat.
Perfect.
That way, because I've got it off from an online thing here.
Cool. This sounds interesting. And I assume I can use these on myself or anyone.
Yeah. These are literally like lick 'em stick 'em tattoos, essentially.
Shit.
Let's see. So some of these are going to be a little more specific, and some of them are going to be a little bit vague. If they're vague, I'll just, like I say, I'll try to do my best to educate something fair. But it should be bad. Copy. Oh, that might be a bit much. Ah, I lost its formatting. Boo. Yeah, ignore that. That's gonna be dumb to read. How else can I do this? Oh, I know. I'll take a snip of it as a photo and post it. That'll be easier. Then you can actually read it, hopefully. easier. That's the first two. You know what? Screw it. I'll just post a link. That's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll just post a link to the actual page so you can find the cool tattoos.
That's cool. Awesome. Now I'll just go over it. Cool. Is this something that I can add to my D&D Beyond?
It is, as long as my players bundle still includes the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything thing. I think it does, but I don't remember if I've got it on there. Let me actually check.
Yeah, the tattoos are there. So you got the barrier tattoo, the coiling grass tattoo,
Yep.
the eldritch claw tattoo, the
Awesome.
spell rod tattoo, 2 and 3, and then they come in different levels too.
Yeah, like if I'm reading it correctly, there's like 3 different levels basically of spells, and that the larger the tattoo, the more powerful the spell, essentially. So like you could assume that you have 33 of these things, 11 of which are kind of a small version of that spell. And like I said, like the last few are kind of specific, so maybe those are the biggest ones. I don't know. We'll talk it out.
I'll redo it and
Yeah.
figure it out. And they're
Chances-
once used.
Yeah, like
once I use it, it's done.
use them, they just sort of like fade away.
Okay.
There's actually more to it too. There's like magic tattoo needles and shit that you can make, and like actually like use them to remove magic tattoos and shit. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, Crit Roll did a tattoo thing like a couple years ago with their last campaign, and then Tasha added like a bunch more stuff to tattoo.
That's cool.
Well, I keep adding Tasha spells to when I find them because they're nifty. I actually just added where is it? Bear with me a second.
Yeah, the only 2 of hers that I know are the Hideous Laughter and the Mind Whip. Both of
I
which are
actually
cool.
just added to Laughter. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I
Yeah,
just
it's a fun
added-
bard spell.
Yeah, that
and,
actually that goes really well with that.
And I have that other the Tasha Mind one that I always like using.
Yeah.
The Mind Whip.
Yeah,
That's fun.
That's an evil mechanic for a player to have. That neuters character and neuters monsters really effectively sometimes.
Especially the dumb ones.
Yeah, it's almost like the equivalent of what Dave said about Maggie, like shooting fish in a barrel with Toll the Dead. Like, oh, fish are fucking stupid. Like they're gonna fail their wisdom save.
Yeah, I mean the barrier tattoo is probably good for you and me because we don't wear armor. You know.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
some pretty sweet ones too.
My armor class is 10, so
Yeah.
anything that helps with armor is always appreciated. That's why I always stay far away from stuff.
Mine's 16, but I can take a lot of damage, especially when I'm raging. So
Yeah, my constitution's high, so I have decent hit. I have 66 hit points as a max, so that's really, which isn't bad for considering I'm a sorceress.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
as I said, it's more than I have is like a level 12 bard in a different game. So
I purposely put constitution as one of my higher ones because I knew I was going to have weakness because of being a sorcerer. So my constitution is a 16 to begin with.
Ah, see, you're a balanced character builder, not a min-maxer. That's good. In Bill's game, there's a guy that plays an extremely min-maxed character. Actually, in both the games, I think. But it's like... It's terrifying when people are really into the mechanics of how to build a character, and they're like, I can do like 97 fucking damage with one hit, and you're like, oh.
yeah, and you have disadvantage on your first 4 attacks against me because I didn't take a, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you hit me, shield.
Yeah. I feel like this version of D&D is like the player's payback for like OD&D, where it was like if you were a wizard, you rolled a D4 and that was how many hit points you started with.
Yeah.
Oh, an orc
God.
stabbed you, you're dead. Roll a new character. Like,
Oof.
yeah, it was fucking brutal.
Yeah, in the like original D&D, if you got poisoned, you just died. Didn't matter how many points you
died.
had. Like, got poisoned, you're dead. Like,
Holy
all right.
shit.
Yeah, trying to fight a dragon in original D&D, like, nah, you just don't. You just run. That's the
Really
solution.
smart.
You run and you hope it doesn't catch you or see you. Yeah.
Hide.
So yeah, you that's the cool find that you find in the library. Other than that, the library seems to actually predominantly be consistent of cookbooks.
Hell
I
yeah.
I actually I go find Maggie and let her know that there's a bunch of cookbooks that she might be interested in. Or is there any like music any music around sheet music or anything like that?
You don't find any in the library, but you actually do find something kind of like a harpsichord downstairs, and that has some sheet music on it for a few songs.
I
Toan's looking
I
for a picture book because he realized he doesn't know how to read anymore.
grab the
Maggie will
music.
show him the glorious illustrations in the food book.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I imagine Maggie's gonna fall asleep over one of these books. She's gonna read them until she passes out.
Nice.
Toan wants to look to see if there's like an armory anywhere, either in the front gatehouse or the anywhere in the castle kind
Yeah,
of thing.
absolutely. Over here in the front gatehouse, you would definitely. Oops. What was it? The other side here. Yeah, you would have found weapon racks on the wall. Again, basic weapons, nothing super fancy, but it's like, freebie gimme weapons that are located in empty houses. That's sorry, you missed that when you stepped away for a second. I said this place essentially gives off the vibe of like, I don't know if you ever played like Skyrim or Morrowind, but it's like the part of the game where like you finally finish the quest to get the house.
Nice.
Yeah. So it seems like, finders keepers essentially. Or
We're the
case,
Jarl of Whiterun now.
yeah,
Nice.
this is finders keep.
Is there a ballista or is that just flavor?
Oh, there's totally a ballista.
Nice.
Yep. Looks like the probably the string and stuff are like in bad repair on it. Like everything starts off at bottom tier. You know what I mean? It's like everything's got to
Yeah.
be repaired. It's all like run down. The temple is to Bane, so you probably don't want that there anymore.
There's a ballista on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was it that I had to in order to look up the tattoos? What would I search in the inventory?
So just go to manage inventory and then in the filter, type in tattoo and it pops up.
Oh,
And then
okay.
at the
I
bottom
will
it
search
says load more. You can click that a couple times because it goes from green to blue to purple to gold.
Gotcha.
That'd be super cool to do like a tattooed warrior type character that just like has these tattoos constantly put on him, uses a spell and then has to go get another tattoo from someone, or like tattoos themselves to do this. Has
Or
to spend
it just
so
has
many
all the
hours.
tattoos, so they're just resistant to everything.
Yeah.
Which is my character basically when I'm raging, except for what was it? What kind of damage am I not immune to? Oh, psychic damage.
Psychic damage, yeah, for barbarians, I think.
Yeah, only because I'm a path of barbarian. Most barbarians are only have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing
Yeah.
when they rage. But I get like cold, force, lightning, necrotic, poison.
That's all
radiant,
from
thunder.
your totem or whatever, your path of
Yeah,
the bear.
because my path of bear totem.
That's cool.
Maggie's gonna ask Reggie about so she's got this scrying spell now, and she's wondering whether it says a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you, and she asks Reggie whether that applies to time periods or not, like whether she could scry on somebody in the future or in the past.
He says he does his little like song and dance about having to do research on that one. I actually don't know.
Do we know anyone that was alive back then?
Well, she's curious where Chazar is, and so she could try scrying and try to find him that way.
And we met that gold dragon that was in the water deep, but I don't know.
Yeah, and we also know the tree that was in Grimwood, but we Maggie talked to him, and he said like he can probably help if they get over there, or yeah. But that was pretty far away.
Yeah, he had directed you to return to Grimwood and discuss it with him, but yeah, that's half the world away almost at this point. Don't you guys hate it when you just keep getting tossed around like that?
I guess Maggie will try scrying with, worst case scenario, regain the spell slot tomorrow.
Yeah, you could do it before, like, you go to sleep or something. So who are you trying to scry on?
Chazar.
Alright.
So she has not met the target, so it has to make a wisdom saving throw modified by how well I know the target, so a +5 modifier to wisdom saving. So not likely that it's going to go through anyway, but if the target knows I'm casting the spell and wants to be observed, then it can fill the throw voluntarily.
Okay. So, like, you go to perform the ritual to, like, do this, and
In the kitchen, standing over the stove, takes her walk out, pour some water into it, gets
some like cooking oil or something gets it like kind of going. So the first thing you see is the ancient columns and pillars of the city. I cannot remember the name of the city that's the capital of Chessenta right now, and I'm not even going to try. But you see the capital city of Chessenta, where you know Chazar to be, his throne to be. And it starts off as like a wide view, like an eagle's eye view of the city, and it kind of like is zooming down and in, and like as though it's focusing in on the palace. And then it kind of blurs for a second, and then you're inside the palace in Chazar's throne room. And you can see kind of a long raven-haired figure sitting on this throne in this red plate armor. And he's got these crazy-looking, like, fire emblems across his chest. And he seems to be kind of lost in thought. Just sitting, he's, like, literally in, like, the thinker's pose, like, hand on his chin, like, elbow on his knee. And it takes a few seconds, but he sort of looks up, and he looks directly at you and tilts his head sideways, sort of like in that inquisitive, like, huh. And he seems to be staring at you through this thing. And he blinks a few times, and then the scene sort of cuts out.
All right.
So he seems to be in his throne at the kingdom.
Chilling.
Yep. Being a pensive dragon lord, as it were.
I don't know if she can cast sending. I guess kind of same question.
I would think once you've scryed on him, you would know his location, right?
Yeah.
So you should be able to. I mean, like.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me figure out a message to send.
Okay.
But I don't want to hold everything else up.
All right. So, as we'll say, like even you just kind of plan for now to send it in the morning or whatever, so we can keep advancing a little bit here. So ending your day here, your night here, and waking up the next morning, you guys are all refreshed. And,
all right, so we did a long rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys would have had several opportunities for a long rest. So Maggie gets her 9 hit points back, basically.
All right. During my 4 hours that I was awake when everybody was sleeping, I studied the sheet music and very quietly, off in a corner, practiced my instrument so I could become more proficient in it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, you You are absolutely improving on this new instrument of yours. You go from being able to play, like Nick said, like Hot Cross Buns to like Marietta Little Lamb to like you're starting to get into like more like kind of you start jamming out on it a little bit, like just experimenting with it.
Camptown Ladies.
Yeah, and then by the end of the night, you're playing like Jethro Tull.
Nice.
You're banging on the harpsichord like with your knee, like ba 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 ba.
I assume as a bard, becoming a bard, I can read music and all that.
Yeah, I mean, like you would have some basic knowledge of it probably from your tutelage and your home, but being just in general of like a bardic mind and thinking to yourself like, I'd like to start studying this. You kind of it's like force teaching yourself this stuff as you're going, and of course, Arianth being a studious person would probably be able to get quite far with it, I'd say. Like it might not be the best rendition of Jethro Tull, but it's there. You can tell what the song is.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you can. It's like, hey, good job. You're getting better. So the next morning, as you all awake, you can kind of hear these loud roars and screeching, and they seem to be coming from the beach area over here. And as you look out, you can see what appears to be a giant scorpion and a young blue dragon engaged in a vicious battle with each other. Maggie, you can let me know whenever you want to send your spell to. We can do it whenever. We can retcon it in if we have to.
Okay. Yeah, I've got, whatever, it's not quite 25 words, but I got something roughly.
Okay.
So say, friend, I'm from Chessenta in whatever it is, year that they're from. Undeath is taking over our world. 1593?
Yep, that's when you guys are originally from.
Undeath is taking over our world and challenging all power, even yours. I'm in, and then whatever closest approximation to where she is right now, and I seek an audience.
Okay. So a few moments pass, and you hear, "I see you, little bird. Come to your home and meet with me. I believe I can help you and your friends." Just says it all as one words. Just cuts out. It's like, Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy.
You/friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's hashtag.
The collect call trick.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I believe I can help y'all.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. That's
Come pick
25.
me up. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what Maggie would say upon waking up and doing her little inspiring leader thing. So everyone's got their 10 hit points still.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
I just deleted them. I'll put them back now.
Put them back. I'd say in this case, her inspiring leadership is like just talking up this fucking great meal now that she's got her Penzies spices back and tallow and fish and everything. She's so excited, honestly, to be like back on the coast because she's from the coast and
Yeah.
used to having seafood and sea air and everything. So she's like,
All right.
Making
As
like
far as
ceviche.
this,
yep, absolutely, exactly.
as far as the this ruckus we're hearing with the dragon and the scorpion is concerned, I ask Reggie whom we might want to be rooting for in this fight.
Says, oh, well, a dragon, of course, is a powerful foe. Not one that
Is
you
this
want...
I'm sorry to interrupt, Reggie, but does this appear to be an intelligent dragon? Do you know anything about it?
Well, most dragons do appear to have some form of intelligence. Actually, many dragons are considered to be very intelligent creatures. This giant scorpion, however, not so much. And as you guys kind of see this this battle commencing, the scorpion manages to land its stinger into the shoulder of the dragon and injure it. And the dragon kind of lets out this terrible cry of pain, and it blasts its breath weapon at this thing, which I believe is lightning for a blue dragon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he zaps out this lightning bolt at it, and the scorpion takes damage, and it's just like this fucking kaiju big beast battle on the beach.
Does Maggie know? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I say that to my companions, if we can convince the dragon that we will help it against the scorpion, perhaps it'll agree to help us get to where we need to.
Does Maggie know from just her like dragon upbringing thing, or from Aegos Eye, whether blue dragons are good?
Blue dragons are traditionally considered to be part of the chromatic evil dragons.
Okay.
So not particularly trustworthy?
No, they actually have been, through all the tales you've heard as well, they are traditionally a kind of conniving, sneaky, sort of like backbiting type of creature. Like, they will even betray their own kind, like other dragons and things.
Like shapeshifters and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're...
Alright, well, perhaps we should then, I suggest we should perhaps lay low and try not to let either of them notice us.
Maggie agrees.
I fucking hate bugs. I say we get in there.
I explained to Tohan that that may be more than the three of us can handle. If both the dragon and the scorpion turn on us, we may find ourselves in a lot of trouble.
Or you can make a friend.
I don't think either one of them are going to be our friend.
Maggie says, "Let's see what happens first. The dragon might crush the scorpion and move on."
Where they're fighting, is that the general direction we need to go in?
Well, that's the shore. They're literally like on the beach, pretty much in front of you guys. Like, you guys are up here, we'll say, just kind of checking it out from the watchtower.
Okay, so what are they, like several hundred yards away from us?
Yeah, like, it's probably a quarter-mile stretch, like, to get all the way out to where they are. They're like just to the west of you, or just the east of you guys.
Gotcha.
Get rid of this thing here. There we go. So yeah, you guys are over here, and then these things are somewhere's on the beach. Uh-oh.
All right, and Maggie, you were trying to communicate with the Dragon King, right?
Yep. So I think she talked to him last night after scrying, and he said that she should come. So I mean, definitely a way to fly there would be great. But yeah, if this is like a notoriously tricksy evil dragon, then Maggie's not really. I mean, Maggie doesn't really trust dragons or like dragons, and especially does not like a scary, tricksy one.
I'm part dragon.
They're fighting.
Tohan's gonna like start rushing toward the fucking.
Rawr, rawr.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys
okay, now make them kiss.
Yeah, he's not a guy just like that's gonna sit back. He's gonna rush in.
So Tohan, you do like some cool fucking maneuver down the side of this thing, like to get outside the gatehouse, like just like sliding your axe down, like all like the bricks.
Maggie sighs dramatically and says, "Arianth, if you're going, take me with you."
I tell Maggie to get onto the broom, and as I'm following Tohan, I ask Reggie to help connect me mentally to the dragon, and I offer the dragon our help against the scorpion if he will not attack us, and perhaps help and call truce with us throughout the fight and after, until we can talk terms.
Okay, so you speak to this dragon, and it kind of is like, now you see its head spinning around because Reggie's like telekinetically or telepathically, communicating with it. And it kind of whips its head around for a minute, and it sort of spots you a ways away on the bridge. And it doesn't respond, and it goes back to being fighting this thing for a moment, but it's at that point the scorpion lands another tail sting on the dragon, and it lets out a terrible roar. It says, "Yes, please help me overcome my foes."
I have Reggie connect me with Maggie and Tohan and let them know that the dragon is willing to accept our help and not attack us and parlay with us after the scorpions.
Maggie says, "Did the dragon say that?"
Yeah, good point. I reiterate to the dragon that he must agree not to harm us, and give his oath that he will not harm us.
Meanwhile, Maggie's yelling to Tohan, "Come on, let's not do this. This is crazy."
Big
Why
monster.
do we have to? Oh no! Come on!
Hey, there's more food back at the castle. Come on.
I almost see it more as like consternation. Like, no, Tohan, get back here! Get back here right now!
Young man.
Yeah, it's like
How many times have I told you?
He's gone. I have a walking speed of 40, so I can move 80 and dash action. So.
Okay, so you
right.
you are leading.
Can I
well
try
out
to
ahead of
persuade?
these
Can I?
guys.
I was gonna say.
Maggie also hates being on this broomstick, but has to keep up.
All right, so you guys are now right here at the end of this bridge. And it takes a few moments to kind of relay this as you guys are hauling ass and riding your broom. And the dragon says, "Fine, I agree to your terms. I will not hurt you. We will have a truce."
Even after the scorpion is defeated.
And the scorpion stinger comes down a third time on the back of this dragon. And he cries out, "Yes, yes! Whatever you want, please help me slay this foul beast." And he zaps it again with lightning.
All right.
You notice at this point, this dragon doesn't appear to be a particularly large dragon. It's actually a little bit smaller than this giant scorpion, which leads you to believe that it's probably a young blue dragon. And Maggie, you actually are, I'm assuming you have the eye patch on. You would look over and it like reads out like the stat block, like young blue dragon, and it's like all of its fucking stats. Just Google the young blue dragon 5e.
Yeah.
If you want its stats.
Okay, I tell Maggie that the dragon has agreed to all of my terms, and that since Tohan is going after it anyway, we might as well slay the scorpion. And I yelled at Tohan, and I also yelled at Tohan through Reggie, "Attack the scorpion, not the dragon."
Yeah, scorpion first. Got it.
No, dude. I do a persuasion roll of charisma on Tohan to impress upon him he does not attack the dragon.
Yeah, do it too. It's gotta be contested. So persuasion versus.
No, I mean, Tohan's a dragonborn. He speaks Draconic. He's not gonna just fucking.
All right, and I just got a natural 20 on my persuasion roll, so.
The whole reason he's running is to come to this dragon's aid, not just to get into a fight.
Okay.
All right. So
I was just messing with Maggie more than anything, or messing with Arianth more than anything.
Let's see. Let's try and get you guys sized up correctly here. So you guys are about we'll say that big. I don't know.
Okay, so how far away are we now? Because I got a long reach.
Let's turn my grid on here and size it correctly. That looks about right. How far away are you guys? How many squares away from this thing? You are 24 squares, so about 100 feet.
100 feet?
Yeah, roughly, a little less. It's like 90 maybe.
Do I have time to
I'll give you guys all a surprise action because this scorpion is completely wrapped up in thinking he's about to kill this dragon.
I'm gonna move and dash as my action.
Okay.
To get me 80 feet forward. and then rage.
Right. Can I get the? Can Maggie take a quick look at the scorpion so we can get some stats on it?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. It is literally a giant scorpion. AC is 15. This particular one has double hit points because you guys are high level. So it's 104 hit points. It has a speed of 40 feet. Strength +2, Dex +1, Con +2. A bunch of minuses on the intelligence. It has an intelligence of 1 and so -5 modifier on it. -1 wisdom modifier, -4 charisma modifier because it's ugly as hell. And it seems to do multi-attack of Claw, Sting. And let's see, important information. Claws can each grapple only one target. Sting can reach 5 foot, one creature on a hit, piercing damage, and the target must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, taking 22 poison damage on a failed save. So that poison is pretty nasty. I think that's pretty much it for its stat block. It's not a particularly complicated creature. It just stings shit and tries to claw it and eat it.
Okay. I asked Maggie what she wants me to do as far as if she wants to. Where she wants me to, if she wants to stay on the broom with me, or if she wants me to put her down somewhere.
If we're within 90 feet, I don't know. I mean, I guess get me within 60 feet, and then we're good. Are we?
I can move you. I can with one movement of my broom, I can get you 50.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to be 60 feet from the scorpion and no closer, basically.
Okay, so I can easily do that because we're 100 feet away right now.
Cool.
All right, so with my action, I get Maggie exactly where she wants to be, and put her there, and then I cast Tasha's Mind Whip on the scorpion.
Okay, we can do that. So maybe about there. That would be about 60 feet or so.
And it's an intelligence save of 16.
Alright. That's not going to go well for him, probably.
Yeah, that's why I picked it.
Stupid creatures. Oh, nat 20! Ha!
What?
I wish I had my dice cam set up so bad right now. Ha!
Oh, you fuck.
So yeah, this scorpion does not. He takes still half damage on it, right? But does not become doesn't become idiotic or whatever it is.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he doesn't get down to like one action. All right, so he does half of 11, so 5 or 6.
Yep.
5.5.
We'll round it up.
Okay, 6.
We'll say 6.
Yeah, usually run down damage, so 5 is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is a half.
So he's got 9 hit points left. So you see the health bar just like a sliver goes into the red from green. All right, so Maggie, you're up on your free action round.
So do I have just an action or action bonus action?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's basically a full turn. I mean, Tohan took a bonus there. He took an action and then dashed, or moved and then dashed, right?
Full turn.
Yeah, full turn. Yeah, because you raged. So and then Arion.
Right.
So Arion, you would have a bonus action as well if you want one, I guess.
Well, I'm just gonna. I will move myself. Does using the rest of my movement count as a bonus action?
Nope. It's just using the rest of your movement. So if you dropped,
I'm just gonna move back 10 feet away, just so I'm as far. So that would make me 70 feet away, I guess.
Okay.
And then I will use my. It's Maggie's. I'll use my. I'll give Maggie inspiration for the next 10 minutes.
The bardic inspiration, right? 1d6. Okay.
Yep.
So what does that mean again?
You can use it for the same way, like for saving throws or attack rolls or anything like that, for the next 10 minutes. And I think you have to use it before you roll.
Like unlimited or just once?
Just once. Yeah, and you can pick when you use it.
Yep. Cool. All right. Sounds good. Sweet, thanks. That'll be nice if I'm trying to pull some shit on the dragon. Not that I would. All right, spiritual weapon, 26 to hit. I assume that hits.
Yes.
And 10 damage. And then I throw a guiding bolt too. So that's 27 to hit.
That is still a hit.
And 16 damage.
What was the first damage again? Sorry, I was writing it down.
10. 10 from the frying pan, 16 from the guiding bolt. I don't know if this guy's got any resistances.
He does not.
Cool. So then, yeah, the next attack before my next turn gets advantage on the scorpion, which is probably the dragon, I guess.
Alright, so the scorpion is surprised by this, obviously. So, rears back a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, and the closer that you guys get, the more that you can see this dragon. Although at first you were like, oh, maybe he's just young. You realize, like, he's just out of his wormling phase, which means that he has all the wimpy stats. Let's see, he did his lightning breath, we'll say twice so far, so he just used that. He takes a swing. Dragon hits him with a claw for like 10 more. Hit points. They need to, like, invent an Alexa protocol for keeping track of all this shit.
Totally.
Okay. So yeah, the scorpion takes this damage, the dragon smacks him. The scorpion continues his assault on this dragon. So back to his stat block. It's a miss. It's a miss. That's a hit. Stabs him a 4th time with this fucking thing. Jesus. The dragon now falls prone to the ground. So it is like the last time that it stung it, it has actually surpassed what its hit points would be, and it is now down. What would you guys like to do? Back to your turn. So,
Are we...
Oh, I should have you guys probably roll initiative. You guys just jumped into order. So, I mean, we can either maintain it as Tohan, Arianth, Maggie, or you guys can roll for initiative this round.
Maggie just got a 21.
I rolled a nat 20, so I got a 23.
I also rolled nat 20. Hot damn.
I got a 16.
Okay, so we'll just swap it and do Tohan, Maggie, Arianth. We can just say that's the order I fired in last time. Doesn't matter. So, let's see. Going forward, he got...
So the dragon's down to 0 hit points?
Yeah, he's literally down to 0 at this point. Which normally would make him dead, but since he's apparently an NPC dragon, not so much. He's just really, really hurt by the poison. And about to try to make a death saving throw. I didn't know dragons could do that, but apparently they can. Your DM makes a lot of shit up on the fly. Just so you know.
Right. So Tohan's turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna close the distance and hit him. Attack recklessly, Great Weapon Master.
Alright, perfect. You're able to get there easily within one movement. His AC is 15, blinking above his head.
Oh, I missed. Alright, I'm doing it again. That one hits finally, so yeah. So that is... I'm gonna use... That's better. So that is 1927 plus...
Damn it, Murder Lizard.
Plus 7. 34 damage, 7 of which is necrotic, and I gained 7 necrotic hit points. Or 7 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot to mention the temporary hit points are now 14, not 13, because she's 1 level up.
So yeah, I do 34 damage, and that's it.
All right. He is now looking somewhere between bloodied and very bloodied. You see Dave. You see the number blinking above his head. He's got 29 hit points left.
Gotcha.
All right. So it's gonna be Maggie next.
Maggie's gonna run 30 feet closer. She's gonna basically use her whole motion towards the dragon and cast Preserve Life, so 45 hit points. The dragon.
Okay. What's the distance on that?
30 feet.
Ooh, I think you're outside of that.
Oh, really? Because she was 60 feet from the scorpion, right?
60 feet from the scorpion to get over to the dragon is...
Oh, more than that.
Okay. It's like 75 feet still.
Oh, gotcha.
He's on the opposite side
I
from you guys.
I'll use a different healing thing then.
And yeah,
I
don't know if the map shows it, but this is kind of just flat beach area with some trees off here in the background. So that green is going to be like kind of tree line.
I mean, you can just run toward him and do some damage against it, and then that way you get to the dragon next turn.
So either way, Maggie's running towards the dragon, but she's already close enough to fuck with the scorpion. And then she's going to cast Healing Word at 3rd level, which is a 60-foot range.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say you can get close enough to do that then.
You said she was already 75 feet from the dragon, right?
Yeah.
So she should be able to do that, and then.
Well, once you had moved your 30, you were 75 feet from it. But I'll give you the 15. I'll say you kind of beelined it a little bit over here instead, because I moved you more towards the scorpion. If you were trying to go towards the dragon, you could have gone that way.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Made up the difference a little bit. Change the hypotenuse.
All right, so 15 healing. I think she's got a bonus on that. 2 plus 3, so 20 healing altogether from that.
All right. The dragon pops back up, lets out a roar.
And then bonus action, she'll smack the
spiritual
scorpion.
Weapon.
Right.
Target AC is 15. I should put the game.
Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Spells. Here we go. 2nd level. Spiritual weapon. 18 to hit. And oh shit! Sorry, I keep casting it at the wrong. Oh wait, no, that is the level. Okay, so 6 damage.
All right. Number shifts down to 23, and right above it, you see the little words "very bloodied" popping up, like blinking, little exclamation marks.
Do scorpions even have blood? I guess they do. I guess everything has blood.
Yeah, very ickered.
Icker.
Yeah. All right, Arianth, your turn.
What is the scorpion's intelligence level again?
Fucking stupid. He's got a -5 to his saves.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind on that one then. I am actually going to attempt Tasha's Mind Whip again.
Okay. Burning up them spell slots. Nice.
Don't worry, I still have that special water.
Oh man, you've been holding on to that forever. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, we're using that on the boss. Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Yeah, like
using it on the boss.
Midway through the boss. Yeah, right. through the lich at the.
Which boss encounter though? We've already encountered the dude like 5 times.
I actually have I have 5 of them bitches left because I could double them up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because yours only counts for you only need to drink half as much to get a rest. That's right.
Yep, I've been saving them for a very downpour rainy day.
All right.
But yeah, so it's again a intelligence 16 saving throw.
All right, he fails.
All right, so he is basically stuck. He can't do any reactions.
You know, he can only either move or attack, and he can't do any reactions.
Yeah, only gets one of the three.
Yeah, he doesn't get multi-attack anymore, right? Or no, he still gets his multi-attack, he just can't move and attack or have a reaction. Okay, yep. So he can still do his multi-attack at least.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me...
Okay, so that's full action. Bonus actions or movement?
Hold on, let me just roll my damage.
Oh, right, sorry.
11 damage.
Alright, he drops down to 12 hit points.
How many hit points does the scorpion have
He
left?
has 12 left.
Oh, wow, that's it?
Yep. And that's from doubling his hit points too, from what the book says. He's a very low-level creature, but that's what the randomized encounter rolled when I rolled for what two creatures were going to be fighting on the beach. It's giant scorpion versus baby dragon, and I was like, all right, see how that goes.
All right, then. Well, I'm gonna hold off. Tohan, do you want inspiration? It only lasts for 10 minutes. I don't know if you really need it.
Sure. I mean, why not? I'm about to murder this thing next time I hit it, so whatever.
All right, if you don't mind, I only get 4 inspiration slots for every long rest, so I'll hold off for now and give it to you if you need it later.
You get your inspiration back on short rest too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just got this, so I'm still learning the ins and outs of it. All right, so yes,
that's right. I play a bard in a different campaign, so I know bards.
Gotcha. All right, so then I give Tohan inspiration as well. So if he has it for 10 minutes if he needs it.
Okay. Bardic inspiration. Back to the scorpion. It sees that the dragon has arisen, but manages to turn himself around, or perhaps even just kind of turn a little bit and takes his attacks at Tohan.
Bring it on, cupcake.
She does a 16 hit you?
Yep, I have an AC of 16.
Okay, so one of his claws grabs you. Oh, why not? We double the damage on this guy too to make him a little tougher. 7, 8, 9. So 9 damage, and you are grappled. And he tries to sting you as well. Misses with the stinger, damn it. Alright, so you are grappled, but you are not stung.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. This is going to end poorly for this thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to attack it. Same thing, recklessly, great weapon master. Oh, with the stinger, he actually has advantage on me, just so you know. But
oh, well, let me get one more roll in then. That's gonna be that is a 16. It's a dirty 16.
All right. Well, I take half damage. So
okay, so you take
11.
11 poison damage then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Did you make it? You can make a DC Con save to half that again too.
Oh, okay.
12.
I make it.
Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. 5.
Okay. Oh yeah, same thing. Recklessly, great weapon master. I just rolled damage instead of attack for some reason. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm gonna use that bardic inspiration. Nice.
That's a hit.
So yeah, 18 to hit there. The first one. I'm gonna use my Savage Tacker, which means I can re-roll my damage dice if I don't like it.
Hitting a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that just barely didn't kill it too. Anyway.
17, 27 plus.
He's dead. He's so dead.
Plus another 5 necrotic.
So like, I feel like when you're hitting him,
32.
Like like in Magic the Gathering, when you're hitting a creature, or when you're hitting another person, it'll like count down, and you actually will go into the negatives for life. That's what happens
Yeah.
on this thing. Um, oh wait, I almost didn't
You
get
know,
to
I
do
was
my
playing
favorite.
that. I was playing that pretty religiously for a while. The Magic Gathering
The
app game.
arena.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
it's
good.
freaking amazing. It's so good. The only problem is there's a lot of like weird glitches and shit of
There's,
like server lag issues and stuff. But yeah, it's a really good game.
yeah, I had like this bug deck that I was like murdering everyone with because all of a
Nice.
sudden I was like summoning like 44 bugs.
Yeah,
And just like,
Scoots are
yeah,
awesome. I love Scoot. I have a Scoot Swarm deck. I'm fairly confident I invented the goddamn minion of the mighty Goldspan Dragon infuriating fucking Fury of the Star Mounts one too. Like I invented like that the first season I played, I got all the way to mythic tier with this deck straight away. And I was like, I don't even know how this happened. Like I was just playing the game and I won all the fucking time because I like stumbled on this deck. It was cool. Now not so much because somebody posted like, oh hey, here's this meta where like you can use this fucking kobold to attack for like 22 damage on turn 2. And everybody was like, well fuck, now we got to figure out how to stop people from doing that. Bastards. Stupid internet. Okay, so the dragon actually kind of approaches you, Tohan, first, and he kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "What sort of wormling are you?" And he says this to you in Draconic.
I mean, I answer back in Draconic. No wormling at all. I'm a Dragonborn. I mate of a dragon and a humanoid.
Our half-breed cousins, yes. I've heard tales of you existing, but you're very rare. What, which is interesting because in your time, Dragonborn are actually fairly common. But back in like the 500s, people didn't know what the fuck a Dragonborn was because it hadn't really been going on that long, I guess. I don't know.
Because anything different from like
Yeah,
Lord
they
of the
would
Rings.
just murder it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ah! And they just,
It's
Lizard
like that's not a
Man!
human, elf, or dwarf. Kill it.
Yeah. 1,000 years later, you're still getting mistaken for a lizard man. Like,
Yeah,
people are racist assholes, so I don't, sorry.
yeah. We had to do a lot of protests.
Yeah.
Get to this.
DLM.
Yeah.
Well, I
Maggie's gonna.
just lost half my viewers. Oh well. I'm just kidding. We don't have any viewers.
I was gonna say that's pretty bold to think they'd get all the way through here. I was just bullshitting.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, the this blue dragon kind of he's more curious about you guys than anything else, and he asks where you came from.
Maggie says we came from across the Moonsea, and we're. She asks the dragon, "Do you know of Chazar or Chazar?"
Oh yes, that crimson fellow down in Chessenta. He's been making quite a name amongst your people, I hear. Took over your kingdom. That's more fit for a dragon to rule, anyways, than a human, don't you think?
Just nods. Yeah.
Maggie just smiles and says, "We need to meet with him as quickly as possible. If we were to heal your wounds, or she says, my lady Hestia can heal your wounds. Can you get us closer to Chazar?"
The dragon looks, says, "I'm not quite sure who this Hestia is, but I suppose I do owe you a favor. Unfortunately, I don't think my wings will be able to support the 3 of you, not even carrying you in my claws. But I know someone who can."
I can ride upon my broom. You would only have to carry 2.
Before you even get a chance to say this, he lets out this massive roar. And you can hear a roar come back as a response from the woods. And flying out of said woods, you see the trees kind of moving and rustling, and within just a few short minutes, a much larger green dragon appears and lands, lets out a mighty roar and bellows some gas cloud into the air, and then says, "What help do you need defeating these little fools? You could chew them up with simply a bite." And the blue dragon kind of looks, and again, he's speaking in Draconic, so you understand this, Dohan, but as far as you guys hear, it just sounds like roar, 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 back and forth. They're just freaking
I
out
cast
and roaring at each other.
For myself, I cast comprehend language.
Okay.
Sounds like Klingon.
Yeah, exactly. So the gist of the conversation goes, he explains that you have helped him, and he asks this green dragon for a favor. He tells you that the green dragon's name is Gnawbone, and that he is friends with, that Gnawbone is friends with this dragon's sire. This particular dragon, he kind of explains that they were recently convened at some sort of a dragon meeting. He kind of gives you like the brush off, like, oh, you humans wouldn't understand. But Gnawbone reluctantly agrees to allow you three to travel to Chessenta, as the Dragon Council needed to speak with Chazar anyway.
But before we go, can I cut off the scorpion stinger and take that with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And did we get the blue dragon's name, or?
Yes, but I don't remember. It's literally
Okay.
it was going to be the same name as the one from the Magic the Gathering set.
Shivan?
Like crossovers.
Shivan
Maggie's gonna make a big show of, she'll heal that dragon for the 45, and kind of make a big show of it to try to like show off the power of her goddess.
Okay. Like a Captain Planet moment for Hestia, like by my powers combined, like something like that.
Exactly.
Good thing Hestia exists 1,000 years ago.
Well, I like to think of that as, since Hestia is essentially like, anytime that we have a custom avatar of any sort, or a custom gods of any sort, or like with Valk's character, like I kind of think of all these gods as being very intertwined throughout the ages. Like, you know how like Mystra in the series turns into, like, Midnight turns into Mystra, and then like becomes the new Mystra, essentially. I think that happens a lot in the Forgotten Realms. Like, a deity might go by another name to another group, but actually be the same deity.
Yeah, so it might be like, Diana and Artemis and like Philetus.
Yeah,
they're all
exactly.
goddesses
The
of the
Greeks
hunt.
and the Romans kind of, they nailed
Yeah.
it. It's like, it's the same thing. You just call them something different, essentially.
And then, the Irish have their own goddess of the hunt and all kinds of stuff.
I'm trying to remember what that blue dragon's name was. Oh, I should probably just open my phone because it's got it on there.
It wasn't even a big deal.
Now I'm curious. Now it's bothering me because I can't remember.
Clifford the Big Blue Dragon.
Because what's the sense of having an online D&D game if I can't tie in every goddamn new product that they come up with?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like the time traveling. Wasn't that one a blue dragon?
Nope, that one was a green dragon.
Okay, all right, never mind. Just like, is this one in the future that tries to kill us? Or?
Yeah, that's what I was finding too. But he said Gnawbone, so.
Although you do notice a startling similarity, and you're not sure if it's, like you're kind of looking at it, and it's like, could it possibly be the same dragon? Because you're not like you're standing in front of two dragons and a dragonborn, so you don't want to seem like, I'll be off-putting or like I don't want to be racially insensitive, but like, are you this guy? Like, what, you think every green dragon is some time-traveling green dragon? That's cool, man.
I guess that Maggie like quietly asks just Reggie that question.
He's like, oh, this is definitely the same dragon.
Nice.
Glad you asked. Yes, I had that thought myself. Yay, the only part of the plot that I planned tonight came true. Where's the...
All right. Yeah, I guess Maggie's also like, I mean, yeah, just generally doesn't trust dragons, so she's kind of making a show of like healing power with this blue dragon, just to also let the green dragon know, like, we are magic users. Don't fuck with us.
Ilmirth. That's the dragon's name, Ilmirth, or also known as Desert Doom. Goddamn dragons and their edgelord names, man. Every
Cheer
dragon
up.
has a super edgelord name.
Cheer up, Ilmirth.
Sounds like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, he does. Look at his big ears too. Fucking nerd. So the green dragon is gonna fly us straight to Chazar.
Yeah, it seems as though he's more than willing to fly you there.
Maggie's like, well, she's just like ready for whatever. She kind of whispers to Arianth, like, have that feather fall ready. I don't trust anything about this, but it'll help us to get there quick.
I nod at her and have it in the back of my head to very quickly cast it if need be.
Okay.
But I also how fast does the dragon fly compared to my broom? Because I can do 50 feet.
The dragon is probably much faster. Like dragons have the capability to go up really, really high, which probably your broom's probably got like a top height somewheres. I don't know, it might be a few hundred feet or something.
Gotcha. All right,
But,
so then
like, yeah,
I
you
strap.
could totally like, you know, glide with him or something, like kind of draft on him maybe, like NASCAR.
If the dragon fucks with us in some way, then the broom is a good backup anyway.
Well, I'll go on the dragon with everyone, but I'll keep my broom on like ready with the command. Basically, all
Like
I have to do.
in your hand, like it's already
Yeah,
straddling
ready.
it, like riding the dragon with the broom still there, like you're flying it.
Yeah,
And Maggie's
basically,
paranoid.
I'm sitting side saddle on my broom on the dragon.
He's paranoid enough that like she's not concerned about offending Tohan even, like, but basically it's just like, keeping up a friendly face, but also like, we got to be careful.
I probably wouldn't notice. It's fine.
Yeah, if Tohan falls from a great height, like he'll get a little bruised maybe, but that's it.
I'll be ready with my broom and feather fall on it, like ready to be cast.
Right.
Actually, I would say maybe also before they get on, Maggie will cast sending and let Chazar know that they're coming and who they're coming with.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just posted pictures of those two into the chat too. Although Ilmirth looks a little smaller than all that, he's not huge yet. We'll say he's younger than the other one, but
I thought you said
It'll be
Desert
interesting.
Dune, not Desert Doom. All right.
It'll be interesting if we
no,
come
no, yeah,
across
now
these
you see why I
dragons
said
later.
he's an edgelord. Yeah, it's yeah, and as you we'll say as you guys are flying, Ilmirth actually accompanies you as well. So you've got a green dragon and a younger blue dragon kind of flying with you. So nothing's fucking with you on the trip there, basically. And yeah, the one thing that you seem to perceive about dragons is that dragons do, in fact, keep their word. They may be notoriously evil-minded creatures in certain cases, but they are at least bound by some sort of a code or law of honor. So once you have these dragons' word that they will not hurt you, they in fact seem that
They keep their word.
yeah, they do seem to keep their word. Now, what they agreed to specifically was to bring you to Chessenta. I would just like to point that out. That the blue dragon has agreed not to hurt you at all because you have a truce. So, right now, you guys seem, even though you're a little on edge, as far as you can tell, you are in fact safe. And I'm going to leave you guys traveling towards Chessenta for next time because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I have time to
All
prep
right.
for it.
Out of curiosity, how long does it take to travel to Tracenta?
I'd say being on the back of a dragon, and you're not flying like a dragon ship that's flapping all over the place, and it's like a dragon that's in control of its facilities. It's probably going to be pretty quick. It'll be maybe like a day, if that.
Yeah.
It's
All right. Well, can I do a long rest while we're on the back of the dragon, since I'm
that.
meditating?
I'm gonna say probably not, only because
Okay.
you're already concentrating on staying on the broom, and you guys are probably pretty on edge because you're it's not like he's got a saddle. You're just standing on the back of this thing, holding on to spikes and shit. So it's probably, honestly, a pretty terrifying experience.
Definitely.
Yeah,
All
especially
right,
for Maggie if Maggie doesn't
just
have
as-
spikes.
No.
I should have peed before we left.
Right. Oh, she's peed since, trust.
Can I
no skirts.
as one last thing to do, can I make conversation with the green dragon very politely and use my wonderful gift of persuasion to convince the green dragon to agree to that no harm will come to us from its hand as well?
We'll say that it guarantees your safety to the kingdom of Chessenta, and that it will not hurt you within Chessenta's borders. It says, after we part our ways, our truce will be nullified, and we will go back to simply being predator and prey.
I nod my acceptance to this and say, fair enough, thank you for your understanding.
He says something along the lines, he kind of asks you if you are, or tells you, I would even say, that he can smell magic on you, and asks if you know any sort of the arcane arts.
I respond that yes, I do. And
says,
I okay, go on, sorry.
I was just gonna say, he says something along the lines of what do you know of time travel? It's always been a topic of curiosity for me.
This is not a conversation that Maggie can understand, right?
Correct.
I quietly I quickly mentally ask Reggie if he thinks it's a good idea for me to explain to the dragon what our situation is or not.
Oh, pardon my French, lady, but fuck no.
Fair enough. I say unfortunately I do not know much of how time travel works, so that I'm not technically lying. But I am very interested in the subject.
All right, so that's perfect. Yeah, he would excuse me. He would be probably instantly like, "Oh, you're interested," and just starts talking about shit that your brain can't quite wrap around. It's like listening to Sheldon Cooper discuss string theory, but he's going on and on the rest of the trip essentially and telling you about time travel.
Nice.
And all these crazy quantum theories and all these other things, and how he thinks that it's possible to actually travel to other dimensions and planes of existence through the use of time travel. And yeah, I think our scene kind of fades through that.
Yeah, my last thought is quietly and desperately mentally telling Reggie to keep track of all this information, because a lot of this is beyond my comprehension, but I want to understand it.
Okay. Yeah, and Reggie, you can literally, as soon as you tell him that, he's like, "Oh, of course," and he's just beep beep boop 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 boop. You just hear the noises in your head. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good spot for us to stop, definitely. I gotta go make dinner still. I'm starving.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early, so I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll see you
Yes.
on Tuesday if we do an Avernus this week, Nick.
Well, supposedly, but
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever actually done 2 weeks in a row in about 3 months now. So
Yeah. I'll see if I can see how Lee's character does in this game.
maybe you'll die this one too.
2 TPKs in a row. Yeah.
No, I think we're level 13 in that game, which I
Really?
don't know.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if
because I wasn't there for a game. That's right. Shit.
Yeah, we almost got killed last time we played. Like, we had a big tough battle last game. We almost fucking died.
Bill's really trying to kill a party, isn't he? He must be
I
dealing with some
mean,
stress or something. I don't know.
it was the first round, and one player was down, and I was down half my hit points.
I gotta get going, y'all. See you. Thanks, and see
So,
you next week.
All
All
right.
right, yeah. Thanks,
Night,
Daniel.
Dave. See you
Later.
next week.
like, I didn't even get a turn yet, and I was already down half my hit points, and there was one player that was down already. I'm like,
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
I'm gonna head out to you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you as well,
So,
Jen. I will see you next week.
Yeah, definitely see you next week.
Night, everybody.
they,
Good night, internet viewers.